Yeah, our best man. Here's Eric.
Got me? Everybody hear me? They got me all wired up. I feel like I'm back in my drug days. So, can you hear me okay, everybody? Okay. All right, so I'm Eric Yop. I'm the pleasure of being Zach's dad and the best man for the evening. You know, I was so touched when Zach asked me to be the best man because I know how much he values and loves his friends. And that goes for all you guys in the room and gals that came here to see him and share this special event with him. You know, I was always, Melanie and I, my beautiful wife, Zach's mom, we always felt bad that Zach was an only child. But Zach made a comment to me one time, a while back, is that, you know, Dad, I have all kinds of brothers and sisters now. So that speaks volumes to you. So I thank you for everything you've done for Zach. So, well, my excitement of being asked to be a best man was short-lived when I realized that I had to give a speech. So I don't really like the idea of public speaking, to be honest with you, although I've done a lot of teaching and throughout my career. And I've been less nervous kicking in doors of meth houses, I can tell you that. So anyway. So I started doing some research. I wanted to make this special. I wanted to try to make this, try to be funny and witty, which I am absolutely not. So I was looking at YouTube and researching and all that. And a lot of things the best man would talk about was, funny times at spring break, first drunks and all that. That'd be a little awkward for me to talk about with Zach. I wasn't going to do that. If you guys know my son, he's pretty straight-laced anyway. He's kind of boring, actually, but... So I decided just to come up with a few words from the heart. All right, I'm going to get through this. First, let me address Brian and Jennifer. Where you at? I can't see with these glasses on anyway, just right here. I just want to thank you for everything you've done for Zach and Sheila. This is an awesome event. What a special occasion, and we appreciate it. I want to let you know that Melanie and I, we love your daughter, and we're so proud and excited to have her as our daughter-in-law, and we promise to love Sheila unconditionally. And thank you for sharing her with us. It's your turn, girl. All right, Sheila, Melanie and I love you and are so thankful that you and Zach found each other. You're a special lady, and I know that my son adores you, as do we. Watching you and Zach together warms my heart and reinforces how good the two of you are together. I'll tell you a quick story. When Zach got assigned out here to Colorado, I helped drive him out. And it was great. It was a great time. We spent a lot of time in the car driving out here, and it was a good time for us to bond and just talk. And you might remember this, Zach, during one of our conversations, you asked me, Dad, how do you know when she's the right one? And I wanted to give him some really wise father advice, like I used to when he was a little boy, like never try to milk a bull. We had a farm, it's a long story. But I thought it was good advice. Don't ever try to milk a bull. And it doesn't work out well. So the only thing I can really think of is when I proposed to his mom, I just told him, buddy, when I proposed to your mom, there wasn't an ounce of doubt in my heart. I knew she was the love of my life, the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and you'll just know. Sheila, I guess he figured it out because you are the love of his life, and he wants to spend the rest of his life with you. So, Zachary. You've never stopped amazing your mom and me. We're so proud of you and your accomplishments. We've enjoyed watching you become the man you are today and know that you'll be a wonderful husband and maybe one day a father. No rush, no pressure. I'm not getting any younger, but no pressure, okay? You're an amazing son, and you truly inspire me. You inspire me to be a better man. I love you, buddy, as high as the sky. All right. Indulge me one more minute And I'm going to read a poem that actually I'm not going to take credit for, but Melanie wrote it. And I'm going to try to get through this. I might have to call for some backup, Frank. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to try to do this justice. Oh, the joy of a couple with the birth of their child. What they soon find out, it can be a wild ride. Late nights and fevers as we worry and fret turns into a lifetime of cherished memories we will never forget. As parents, we love, protect, and hold their hand. We marvel as they grow and begin to stand. Every parent's wish is to do better for their child. We teach them values and lessons to try to keep their stress levels mild. We keep the ice packs ready for life's hard knocks. We need patience and courage not to watch the clocks. A parent's love never warns, when they leave your side. To watch and hear their adventures leaves us beaming with pride. Zach, it was never our intent, to have you run off, but with Uncle Sam calling and a Black Hawk to fly, we have nothing to scoff. Zach, we have enjoyed every moment and valued the years. We are very, very sentimental, and we may have a few tears. This too will pass after a few more drinks. Sheila, we have already welcomed you and your family into our small clan, and as you know, we have big hearts, and it's all part of God's plan. Sheila and Zach, we love you, and we wish you the best. So with that said, to Zach and Sheila.
What a man, buddy.
Ready? Hold on one sec. That's right. There we go.
First, I'd like to thank a couple special people in my life. Bartenders. I'm going to be seeing a lot of y'all later on tonight. For those of you who are wondering where I am, you have the maid of honor who spoke last night. You have the best man who just spoke. And later on tonight, you get to hear the father of the bride. Well, I'm the brother of the bride, dadgummit. So it's, we're involved, but we're not fully involved. We have a very underrated role in this whole thing. Hashtag BBM, brothers of the bride matter. All right? So it's kind of our job to scout out, get a better read on the new guy that's in the relationship. Which brings me to the story of the night I first met Zach. So obviously, first glance, Sheila and I don't exactly look alike, right? So we've been hanging out at a bar together, and people have mistaken us as dating or together, and probably thinking, damn, this guy must have money or something. What's she doing with a guy like this? So anyways, Sheila and Zach were in town for, I think it was maybe during Christmas or something. I'm not sure when it was. But I haven't seen Sheila in a while because she was at Troy at the time. So I'll meet Sheila at the bar, and I walk in. This is my second stop of the night, so I was already feeling pretty good. So I walk in, I see Sheila. I think Joey was there, maybe a few of other friends. Walk up straight up to Sheila, give her a hug. I'm sure we probably did one of our inside joke type things, goofy, whatever. So I introduced to two other guys who were sitting at the bar in their seating area or whatever. And immediately I felt tension. They're probably thinking, who the hell is this guy hitting on that Zach's girl? So, and on top of that, I think I also sat in Zach's seat. So a little while longer, Zach comes up, introduces himself. It was even, the Donald Trump handshake, grip, pull, assert your dominance. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad. But still, you can kind of feel that tension, okay, am I going to have to take care of this guy later on tonight? because I don't know who the hell he is. So a little while longer, I go up to the bar and get my drink. I come back and it's like the attention completely dissipated. So what I'm assuming happened is I think they're asking Sheila this, who is this guy? Do you want us to get rid of him for you? Like seriously, is he hitting on you? Does he make you feel uncomfortable? She's like, oh no, that's my brother. Don't worry about him. He's all harmless. So that's the night I first met Zach. I almost got my butt beat by a bunch of West Point guys. So I was like, when I first met him, man, these West Point guys are tense, man. God damn. But so anyways, Zach's a great guy. I mean, I couldn't imagine Sheila with someone better than him, which is important to me because, Sheila and I have always been really close. I mean, in fact, before she was born, I was hoping that she'd be a brother because I always wanted a brother so I can, wrestle with, so I can beat up on, do wrestling moves on and whatnot. So Sheila was born and she kind of grew into that role. And she took it in stride too. She watched wrestling, WWE with me. We were built wrestling rings in the bedroom. They look like pillows, others a ring, the mattress is a ring. We use the pillows as chairs, go all role playing and whatnot. So, I mean, I tell you, if smartphones were available back then, I'll probably have some really funny pictures and videos of Sheila. Imagine her coming in, busting in my room with her chosen music, asking me if I can smell what she's cooking. The Walk Johnson, you familiar with him? She even used to do the whole eyebrow thing too. But anyways, she come in and say she's gonna lay the smack down on me, and I'll proceed to completely obliterate her, choke slam her to the mattress, doing various submission moves on her, and she let me do it. She was all in. She knew I was kind of into that stuff at the time, and she would watch it with me sometimes, go all role playing with me. So I guess looking back, I kind of appreciate that because she was. She was a way of bonding with me. But yeah, so I guess that kind of shows she'd do whatever to be close, what's a guy like Zach. Whatever decisions you make, whatever weird stuff you're into, she's going to support you no matter what. So looking back, it was pretty cringeworthy, what I did, but it's kind of funny at the same time. But all funny stuff aside, Sheila, I've never seen you look so beautiful and radiant as you do tonight. It's been such an honor and a pleasure to watch you grow up to the woman you've become today. All your accomplishments. I'm freezing for a second here. I couldn't be happy to be your older brother or happy for you. To watch you walk down the aisle to marry a guy like Zach, I can't imagine someone to treat you better than him or who's going to take better care of you. It's really, really special to see you all so happy together. Love you both. Cheers, y'all.
Thank you, sir.
I need this too?
Yes. Yep.
Well, is this on? I don't hear anything. How about now? Good. Well, you probably have figured out by now that I'm the father of the bride. I'm Brian Blanchard. And my wife, Jennifer Blanchard. I love Jennifer to death. She's a wonderful wife and mother, just like I know Melanie is too. And she often says I don't say I love you enough, and so I love you. You're a great wife and mother. So I want to share a few things about some of my feelings and thoughts about Sheila and Zach. And I'm going to go way back to before she was born, okay? So Jennifer likes to have fun. And it was very common for Jennifer to send gorillas to my office, men dressed as gorillas, to sing happy birthday. She did that on several occasions. Everybody had a good time and laughed, and I didn't think it was so funny, but she had a great time with it. Well, one time she sent a stuffed bunny rabbit with balloons and said, "Hey, we're going to have a baby." And I said, "No, you're not." And she said, "Yes, we are." I said, "No, you're not." Well, we didn't plan on having a third child, right? So we were blessed with Sheila. And what's cool about Sheila is I kept a diary. I remember everything she did growing up. I remember her first birthday was at Aunt Debbie's house. Aunt Debbie, I don't know if you remember that, but I wrote it down. Her first birthday. And, when we had our third child, we kind of threw the rules out the window. We used to have a rule that you had to be in bed by a certain time and you couldn't get in bed with us. Well, we kind of threw that out. And so Sheila would come up and she would whisper in Jennifer's ears. It was like a code. She'd go, "That means I want to get in bed with you." So I'm not gonna embarrass you and tell you how many years that went on. But she was very athletic. At 4 years old, she was on the swim team. She could swim the entire length of the pool. And when you're 4 years old, you don't have a sense of direction. So those floating lane lines would keep her in her lane. And she would swim the entire length of the pool. It was the coolest thing. So I thought that was neat. And, I remember when I taught her how to ride her bike. But Jennifer would take her to cheer practice every day because she was a cheerleader. Jennifer would work on her homework. Jennifer was there all the time. And I was usually at work, But when I would come home, she would always hug me and want to talk to me and want me to take her out for a walk. And I was so happy I wrote those things down because I wouldn't have remembered it. So, as life went on, don't forget who took you trick-or-treating. That was you and I. It was about you and I and the candy, right? So she would eventually be on the homecoming court in high school, and I got a chance to walk with her, and I didn't realize that Zach was on the homecoming court the year before, but I didn't know Zach then. So I thought that was pretty cool, and she would eventually get a cheerleading scholarship at Troy University. And so I meet Zach for the first time in 2019. And I thought Zach was disciplined and assertive and humble guy. Zach, I thought a lot of you back then, and I think a lot of you today. I thought you were a great guy. So that was in 2019, and that year, Sheila graduates and gets her first job. And I want June and John and Ernie and Andrea to raise your hands back there because they hired Sheila for her first big job in 2019. And as you would know, in 2020, COVID hits, and of course, the event planning crashed, and so Sheila gets laid off. So I told Sheila, I said, "Sheila, you got to move closer to home," because I lived in Tallahassee, right? I said, "Sheila, you got to move closer to home. I can help you. I can mount TVs and fix your car, and I can do all these things. You got to move closer to home." She said, "I'm moving to Denver." I said, "What the heck?" And Zach, I remember saying this to myself. I said, "I sure hope she marries that boy because she's moving to Denver now." So she moves to Denver, and thank goodness Marla hires her. Marla, raise your hand back there. Marla, and I don't know if Robin's there. Robin's there. So Marla hires her in Denver. And that was 2 years ago, right, Marla? Something like that. So, so here we are today. And, Zach, I know, I'm really proud of Sheila. I know she picked a great guy, and we're looking forward to having you as a son-in-law and having Eric and Melanie as part of our family. And I'll tell you, I know you'll make great decisions. I know Sheila will have your back. And I'll tell you a really quick story. Jennifer and I didn't always make good decisions. In fact, I'll give you an example of what not to do. So we were newlyweds. We were only married like 3 months. And we had a wedding to go to, and it was in Montgomery, Alabama. I'll never forget it. We pull up in Montgomery, Alabama. It was a Marriott courtyard. And, being newlyweds, we thought we would go get in the hotel jacuzzi, right? So, lots of bubbles, a lot of bubbles. So we thought, we'll go skinny dipping in the hotel jacuzzi. So, sure enough, Jennifer's dad walks up, Harry. Harry and Chuchi. Chuchi is Susie's husband. Susie's sitting at our table. So Harry and Chuchi walk up, and they're walking around the jacuzzi, and they could tell something wasn't quite right. And sure enough, the hotel timer on the jacuzzi goes to 0. And I'm standing here naked. And, there was something on my back. I couldn't shake it. It was like a big leech. That was Jennifer. Jennifer was hiding. And, Jennifer's the great communicator in our family. She communicates well, but at that moment, she was speechless. She couldn't say a thing. The only thing I remember her saying is, "You think you could put a little time on that timer?" So, Zach, 2 a.m. in the morning, the hotel security guard calls our room. And he says, "Hey, I understand that somebody was skinny dipping in the hotel jacuzzi." I said, "That was Jennifer." We had a great partnership, Zach, Jennifer, and I. So it turned out that it was Chuchi and Harry pretending to be security guards, calling us in the middle of the night. So that's what's, Zach, I know you'll make better decisions than that. And I know that Sheila will have you back like Jennifer had my back, right? But Zach, we're thrilled to have you as a son-in-law, and we want to do a toast. Let's raise our glasses and toast to Sheila and Zach, that they will live long and happy lives, healthy lives, yes, and that you will live to be old and have a big family and grow to be closer to each other each year. To Sheila and Zach.